When Omega first introduced this bronze gold Seamaster, I admit I was one of the skeptics. However, now, months later, I have changed my mind. I get it. My name is Oleg, that right there is Mr. Bond, and in today's video we will do a full hands-on review of this Omega Seamaster 300M in bronze gold. I'll point out all the positives and the negatives, but now, as always, let's talk about the case and the dimensions. The watch comes in a 42mm diameter. It's about 49.7mm from one lug to another. The lug opening is 20mm and it's about 13.8mm in case height, including the domed sapphire crystal. The case and the bracelet are made out of bronze gold, which is a brand new alloy with 37.5% of gold mixed together with some copper, silver, gallium, and palladium. And I think with this new metal is where some of the misunderstandings with this model start. When it was first released, I assumed it was primarily bronze watch with some gold added for a bit of a marketing fluff. However, I was wrong. This is a brand new metal alloy that actually looks closer to rose gold, and it also has properties that are closer to gold than bronze. Unlike your standard bronze alloy, it doesn't tarnish or patina. It also doesn't leave a green mark on your wrist after you wear the watch. And lastly, it is hypoallergenic. It's a whole new case material. And I think the name bronze gold was a bit of a mistake because in a lot of people's minds, when they hear bronze gold, it kind of automatically discounts the material used for this watch. As far as the finishes on the case go, it features all satin finish. There are no high polish accents anywhere on the case or on the bracelet. This one features a domed sapphire crystal with AR coating. There is a crown at the 3 o'clock position, that's to operate the movement. There's also the crown at the 10 o'clock position, that's the manual operation for the helium escape valve. And I know a lot of people dislike this design element. I personally like it. I think that's what makes a Seamaster Seamaster, but I understand if you don't like it, it is redundant with today's technology. At the back of the watch, you will find a screw-down display caseback made out of bronze gold, the same material as the rest of the case, which demonstrates the difference between this new metal and standard bronze. Usually bronze divers would feature either a stainless steel or a titanium caseback because first of all, bronze and bronze kind of fuses together and becomes impossible to open. Secondly, you will have that green mark on your wrist if you have bronze touching it. So this new metal is completely different. It doesn't really tarnish, doesn't leave that green mark, as I already mentioned. The water resistance is still at 300 meters, as the name would suggest, and this watch still features the aluminum bezel insert, now with this burgundy color. And actually, I think this is another point of criticism for this watch. This aluminum bezel insert is very vintage inspired, and I think at this point a lot of watch collectors are kind of getting tired of this design language. We have seen it in so many other models that it doesn't seem that special anymore. I think now the pendulum has swung the other way. I think a lot of people would prefer the more modern take on this watch. Maybe having something like a ceramic bezel insert would make a lot more sense. The dial on this watch is also very vintage inspired. It's a black aluminum dial that's finished with a sandblasted finish. It looks good and it fits the overall aesthetic of the watch, but as I said, a lot of people are kind of getting tired of the vintage inspired elements on the watch, like for instance these sand-filled applied indexes. Having the applied indexes over painted ones looks better in my opinion. It makes this watch look a little bit more high-end. At the same time, having that sort of faux patina look again, is maybe slightly overplayed at this point. This Seamaster also has no date aperture, which I think a lot of people do enjoy, including myself. The design of this dial is cleaner and more symmetrical, and we also have the case matching set of hands. They are semi-skeletonized to keep up with the overall design language that the Seamasters are going for. This watch is available on both the rubber strap or the Milanese style bracelet. The one I have for the review is on the bracelet, and I think the bracelet is great. It is actually very similar to other bracelets on other Seamaster 300 models, like the No Time to Die model. In fact, that model and this model do look very similar. They just have different color combinations and of course different case materials. The hardware on the bracelet is also pretty good. It features this double deployed buckle, and the whole bracelet is made out of bronze gold, which brings the price up of the watch quite a bit. So on the bracelet, this watch is almost $30,000, and on the rubber strap, the watch is around $14,500. So the price pretty much doubles if you go for the bracelet. And that is one of my other negatives. I understand that this is an expensive material, probably a difficult material to work with, but then having this watch at around almost 30 grand, yeah, it's a bit up there. Now, as far as the bracelet on the wrist, it does look and feel great. I have about a 7.5 inches wrist and the watch feels right at home. I have tried many of these Seamasters on over the years. This one here fits very comfortably. It also has just enough heft and a balanced weight distribution, so it doesn't really leave any awkward pressure points on your wrist. It is on the larger side, so you have to have probably a medium to a larger size wrist to wear it comfortably. A lot of people over the years have been wishing for a 40mm version, and I think that would be a welcomed addition to the catalog. Who knows, maybe we'll see one in the future. A familiar caliber 8806 is powering this watch. It's a master chronometer movement with a hacking seconds hand. It beats at 3.5 Hz. It features 35 joules and 55 hours of power reserve. Of course, it is a coaxial movement with 15,000 Gauss of anti-magnetic resistance. These movements are great. They feature a silicone hairspring, so you don't need to service them as often. And in general, they are very accurate and very reliable. In general, after spending some time with this watch, I like it a lot more. I think it's a very interesting release. It's the right type of a watch for someone who already has a gold diver in their collection, maybe a couple of gold divers in their collection, and now they're looking for something else, something that they perhaps can wear on a daily basis, because that's what this watch is. It is tougher than your standard gold watch, yet it has that sort of gold luxurious feel and look to it. However, to enjoy and daily this watch, you do have to have some deep pockets. This is not exactly a cheap watch. At almost $30,000 on the bracelet, it's up there. And that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos like this in the future, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about this new Omega. And a huge thank you to Omega Boutique here in Vancouver for giving me access to this watch. These guys are awesome. They have an amazing selection of watches. So if you're in Vancouver or if you're visiting Vancouver, check them out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you next time. Bye.